Robert AWOL, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
All right, welcome to the Waitlist, Trevor. We haven't done a Waitlist in a while. Well, not really.
Yeah,
but we these are our in-between shows. What?
You haven't done a Waitlist in a while. I did a Waitlist not too long ago. But yeah,
that's true. You did one without me, which was a really cool trip report. And, but typically, I actually like that as a vehicle for our trip reports. But this is also typically the show that we do when, Trevor and I are unavailable to do a regular show. And they're more topic-based shows and things that can, last for a long time. So, these are things so you can continually hear from us, even if we're, busy doing other things. So what's our topic this week, Trevor? Like, what are we talking about this time?
So I actually wanted to change this up a little bit, and because normally we would talk about a specific topic or some theory thing or building out a theme park area or something like that. But I actually wanted to use this for some trip planning.
Okay.
And I actually wanted to. So you and I have talked about you're going to the Christmas party. So I actually wanted to make this waitlist helping you figure out things you need to know for the Christmas party. And then, this gives you, you'll give you some insight and help you with planning, but then also you can go back and listen to it. And then I figured it'd also be a good way for our listeners to kind of get involved in some of this too, because, I'll share, what I've learned about, going to the Christmas parties or my experiences with it. And obviously we have a lot of experts and stuff that other people that have had different experiences with the Christmas party, and then also there'll be people that are planning as well that, hopefully will find some value in this. So I thought it'd be, I thought we would try this and, kind of talk through, things you should be aware of or gotchas that I guess we learned about the Christmas party. Cause we went in 2022. So it was, it wasn't it was in the last couple of years. And I know you said that you said you'd been to a Christmas party once, right? But
we haven't done we haven't done the Mickey's Christmas. No, we haven't done any of the Christmas parties there. We've done dessert parties. We've done dessert parties.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. You said you did dessert parties. Okay.
We've done a lot of dessert parties. Yeah. Just never the Christmas party itself.
So, okay. So yeah, I guess let's start from, or I don't remember, you have done after hours parties, right?
Yeah. No? Well, no, none of the actual after hours party. I've done parties where you get to, where you stay late, but I never the official after hours parties either.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So, okay. So yeah, I guess then let's get into this because, I feel that, when you're doing a Christmas holiday party, after hours, whatever, there are some things to think about and I want to preface this by saying you don't have to there's no right and wrong way to do this. And you don't have to min-max everything in the sense that yes, it is a shorter amount of time and honestly, it goes by way quicker than you think it does.
Yeah.
But I feel like there, because a Christmas party kind of falls outside of normal operations, you do have to approach it a little bit differently than just a regular visit, right? A regular visit, you're kind of showing up and you're I'll just kind of, see what happens, right? Or you have I'm going to go do these rides and then the rest of my day is whatever and all that kind of stuff. The Christmas party.
Listen, this is a blind spot for me, right? I know so little about the Christmas party, and that's why that's why we want to talk about this because I need to know.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I figured it was a good waitlist topic. So let's start from like an after hours party when you can get into a Christmas party before it actually starts, right? You can. So usually it's you can get there. And sorry, I can't remember what the
4 o'clock.
Actually, 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock is when you can get there, and then the party starts at 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, when we did the Christmas party, we did exactly that. Like we planned our days accordingly. That we were arriving. We didn't arrive like exactly at 4:00, but we got there earlier. Like the plan was, we got there. We got food in Magic Kingdom, and we spent a couple of hours just like going around the park, not like going crazy, because the thing to remember with the holiday party is that you are going to definitely be running around the park a lot, because there's a lot of different things to do. But I will start with the first thing that we did, or I guess maybe this kind of depends on what your family prioritizes. But when we went, we wanted to get a picture with Santa or we wanted our son to get a picture with Santa. Yeah. And Santa is the meet and greet for him at the holiday party it's on Main Street, like right by the guest services. Okay. Yeah. So the interesting thing is the party starts right at 7:00, and my opinion, or I guess depending on how much you guys want to do this as a family thing, what we actually did was, like, we were there a couple hours before, but then I think it was about like 6:15, 6:30ish. We made our way down Main Street and we went and lined up for Santa before the party started. Well, that's a good idea. Because then what we were able to do was, we waited for Santa. I think we were like the like fourth or fifth people in line. Like there was people waiting there before we got there. So like, other people had a similar idea. But then it was like, we got in there, we went and we met Santa right away, got the picture and all that. And then that left our time free for the rest of the party. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, I do recommend that. I assume you'll want to go with your daughter and see Santa and all that. I have yet to get my daughter to do a Santa picture. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. So we've tried this before. Maybe Disney's the place to make it happen, because she just, I don't know. She's not like scared of Santa. She just is like, who's the stranger and why am I sitting on his lap, kind of thing. Right. You know what I mean? My daughter's very skeptical of strangers, which is not a bad thing, I guess. Yeah, that's fair. But I guess, even if you just, like, and I guess the thing to keep in mind is that it's not like a normal Santa meet and greet, I guess. Yeah. Because it is, a bunch of people going through with photos. Like, they don't, like, I mean, they spend the same amount of time as like any other like character interaction, but it's not like, I didn't see it the same as like going to the mall to meet Santa, where like my son would like have a bit of a conversation with him. It was a lot more like get in, get the picture, go kind of thing. And and that wasn't like their fault, but it was like, you're at the party, so it was like it was a time thing, right? Like yeah. We don't have a lot of time to talk with Santa, right? But then the thing about doing that was that then we were able to go into the party proper from Main Street, which, and again, so keep in mind, this may not be 100% what happens when you guys go, but what we found was that so they actually do give you a map when you get into the party of like where all the different treats and stuff are going to be. That's helpful. Yeah. Because it's a little bit different than the Halloween party. Like the Halloween party has the treat trails and they're very obviously labeled in it, but the treat trails don't have anything unique to them. Like they're all the same. Whereas at the holiday party, there are different cookies and like some places have hot chocolate and stuff like that. So you are you do want to look at the map and kind of figure out a plan for getting all whatever treats you want, right? Like I know it sounds silly, but it wasn't like our big priority, but you do kind of want to like keep that in mind as you're making your way around the park, right? Yeah. Yeah. The other interesting thing too was how there's that side path that goes up next to Main Street on the Tomorrowland side, like they usually have that. I know what you're talking about. The back entryway that like usually it's for people like draining out like after the fireworks and stuff like that. Yeah, I've gone through there. Yeah, they actually had that open for entry into the or that was actually where, like, after we saw Santa, that was actually where we went in for like we started there, and there was we got cookies there, and then we actually got snowflake ornaments, or like whatever the year ornaments were for that
oh, nice.
for that party. So I assume they'll probably do something similar, because like the way it was kind of playing out was, it was as 7:00 was hitting, people were emptying out of the park, and then like the Christmas party was starting. So like we were kind of like, we did the Santa thing, and then we went up the, that side entrance and kind of started over in Tomorrowland, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, keep that in mind. I think it'll probably, I mean, logistically, it seems like it would still make sense for them to do that. So yeah, like I said, those are kind of the two big things, I think, is, if you really want to do like character meets and stuff, or like specifically Santa, plan to do that at the beginning, because you do save yourself some time in that you're not coming back and doing it when you're trying to do other things, because Santa is really like kind of out of the way, because it's like at the front of the park.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if we'll prioritize doing Santa, though. I feel like we're going to want to do a lot of other things. Like, yeah, I mean, I know it's different at Disney, like, but
I would still have that conversation, because, or at the very least, like, I would say, like, when we were planning it all, like, I went to my wife and my son. I said, hey, what, these are the things we can do. Are we, like, what are we doing? Right. Kind of got like a consensus on, like any other Disney planning. It was like, what is our actual priorities here? Right. So
that's going to be interesting with how many people I have coming with me for this.
Well, so maybe I guess the suggestion I have, because like when we did it, it was my family, and then my parents were with us. So it wasn't just us. But we did break off from my parents for a little bit, because so it was the same kind of thing where like they didn't want to go and line up to meet Santa or anything like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, they like, we agreed to like meet them. I think we met them at like the entrance to Tomorrowland or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. It was a while ago, but I'm pretty sure like we kind of talked to them. So like, okay, we're going to go do these things. We'll meet you here, all that kind of stuff. Right.
Yeah. It makes sense.
And so, yeah, like I'm of the opinion, like, for your family specifically, prioritize what you want to do. And, obviously you're part of a larger group.
Yeah.
But I think I would make it clear to people, like, we're going to do these things. If you decide to come with us, great. But, we're doing these things because it is a short amount of time. And if you're spending time in the party, like debating or like figuring out where to go next, you're not going to be able to necessarily get to everything that you want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, we need that. We definitely need to plan this out for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then, the other thing that actually, I'm going to say this because, as we're talking about this, we kind of agreed that if we are going to, or this wait list will probably be released around the time you're there anyway. So it's not going to ruin, your plan of attack on this, but, we found, so later on in the party, obviously there is the fireworks and there is the parade. We were less interested in the fireworks. So again, from a point of prioritizing, we avoided the hub for the fireworks because even though it is a holiday party, the hub does get very busy for the fireworks. So we found just across the bridge into Liberty Square, there's like a little there's like that section behind the Christmas shop, like you know what I'm talking about, right? Like there's
it's like a little empty section there.
Yeah, but up like by next to the bridge, there's a spot where like we were able to stand for the fireworks, which you don't get like obviously all of the projections on the castle because you're kind of like looking at the castle from the side, but we were able to watch the fireworks from there. But it was also a very great position for the parade, which you are going to want to do the parade.
I mean, I think our priorities are definitely going to be rides, parades, fireworks. Like I think that's what they will be. And then maybe some characters mixed in there and then treats, of course. I mean, I think rides will actually be, like our lower priority,
And I mean, in terms of the rides, like honestly, the only rides that I would say, or again, this is my opinion, take this with a grain of salt, whatever you guys do, you do. I think, I mean, the ones with the overlays are the priority, which would be,
I definitely want to do Space Mountain.
Yeah, Space Mountain is crazy. It like, I was seeing dots in front of my eyes for about 10 minutes after I got off that ride.
That's not really a ringing endorsement. That's like I couldn't. My back hurt after.
no, that's. But like,
that's how crazy it was. Yeah, no, I know. I'm just kidding.
It was it's as my son would describe it. It was like getting hit by like a flashbang.
Okay,
but it's funny because like it was so like the experience of it was like, we were having fun or whatever, and like I was just enjoying it, but they're like, it's so weird because you're used to Space Mountain being just like dark, right?
Yeah.
And you can see like the lights are on, like there's all kinds of lights going, and they've got the music going and everything. And it was a wonderful experience. But then, like I said, when I got off, it was like I was temporarily blind for a bit because by that point, it's dark out. You've been doing everything in the dark, and then all of a sudden you get on this ride and it's just like bright lights everywhere, right?
Really selling it.
But like I said, it's just that dark and light thing. But it was fun. Like I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I can't see. It was like I was like laughing because it was like that was it was a crazy experience, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, prioritize Space Mountain, make sure you do get on the Tomorrowland Speedway as well.
That's definitely a lot more my daughter's speed.
Yeah. And because again, the holiday overlay for the Speedway is very cool. Like it's, yeah. So do those. And then the only other one that could be a little bit tricky for you guys is the Jingle Cruise.
That's always a tough one, right?
Yeah.
Like I love the Jingle Cruise. I did last time I was there for the holidays. We did the Jingle Cruise, and it's just like one of my favorite things. But I'm sure that'll be a popular option.
Yeah. This is where it might be a hard one for you. For us, it was, we were able to go like to the end of the party. So like we actually left the Jingle Cruise like after the parade and after the fireworks and everything, when it started to quiet down a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because it was hitting that point where like I think the wait times are down to like 15 minutes or something like that. So
yeah.
So yeah, but like I said, the problem is like Jingle Cruise and Space Mountain kind of like they do at the beginning of the party, they do fill up quickly. And so I think this, if you're deciding not to do the Santa meet and greet, you may want to go and so this is where you may want to prioritize one of those rides and, get it out of the way as the party is starting kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because at the start of the party, like they have that point where, they cut off, or I was saying this about we talked on a previous episode about the after hours parties and, there is that cutoff point where it's like, once the party starts, they stop letting people in. Like there'll still be a queue, right? But you can kind of hit that sweet spot where it's like, there's not a ton of people coming in that are regular visitors, and it's just people from the party. So you'll still wait, but it's not like, it's like I said, it really, I guess, what I'm getting at is have that conversation with your family and kind of figure out, like, you don't have to have like everything like checkboxed, but definitely figure out the priority things and, make your way to those things first and kind of get them out of the way. And then that gives you more time that like you can stop and enjoy the treats. You can make your way around the park a little bit slower. And then also like give yourself time to find the position you want for watching the fireworks and the parade, because those I think are the biggest things that people kind of overlook. And we kind of learned that when we did our first Halloween party, like we were very overwhelmed because it was like, oh, you can do this, we can do this. And we didn't really know what to do. And we ended up like missing out, or not missing out, but like, we didn't get like a great place for the parade. We missed like half the fireworks because we didn't even realize what time they were starting. Like we didn't we weren't paying attention to all that kind of stuff. And we had learned, like, by the time we did this last Christmas party that we did, that, at least understanding, they are very good about, like I said, they gave us a pamphlet with like, here's all the treats, here's the time for the fireworks and the parade and everything. And we made sure that we gave ourselves time to get to the things that we wanted to do. Because it's,
so what I'm hearing is planning is key.
It is. And I mean,
you have such a limited time. So
yeah. Cause that's exactly it, is that you don't have a lot of time, and you're going to be enjoying yourself so much that it's not going to feel like it was, 3 or 4 hours that went by.
Yeah. It'll go by fast. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it will.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really, I think those were like I said, those were the big things, is that like we made sure, we had gotten food before the party. Like we didn't eat like a ton of food, because we knew that, like, I mean, really you're just getting a ton of sugar at the party anyway. But
I mean, that's my plan to keep my daughter up, is just to sugar her up as much as possible.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, the cookies, like, so the thing is that the cookies, like, it wasn't just like the same cookie we were getting everywhere. It was, they had like gingerbread cookies and, shortbread and all this stuff. And so like that was part of it too, is that, it wasn't just like we had like the big rides and the big things that we wanted to do, like the parade and everything. But then it was like that in between was like, oh, we had to go over to like Golden Horseshoe because they had the gingerbread and hot chocolate there, kind of thing. And it was never, or we never experienced like huge lines for those things. Or I mean, like there was lines, but it was like they moved quick enough, right? Like it was never, I wasn't ever like waiting 20 minutes to get a cookie or anything like that.
Okay, yeah, because I'm not waiting that long for a cookie. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, like I said, it was usually like 5 minutes or whatever. But again, it was still worth your time. Like the thing to be careful of is, make use of the map and like, pay attention to where things are, because like even going to Golden Horseshoe, it was like you had to like walk in Golden Horseshoe, and it was like further inside where the cookie thing, like they had signs outside, but it wasn't as obvious as the treat trails is the thing. Cause when and maybe they changed this. I don't know. But when we were there, so like the treat trails had like these big inflatable things that were like, it was clear, like markers where the treat trails were. The cookie handouts were like, they had signs and whatnot, but if you weren't paying attention, you could walk by and miss them very easily. So
pay attention more is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, like I said, use the map. Like really what we found was like, using the map, and like, we did check every once in a while. I was like, oh, there's, we were heading our way through Fantasyland. It was like on our way, I was like, oh, we can stop here and grab a cookie kind of thing. So, don't underestimate that, because, and I know it's not the main selling point of the whole thing, but it does play into it, honestly, because like you said, you're giving yourself and your family sugar energy, but also it's part of the enjoyment of the whole thing. So,
okay. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm gonna fully take advantage of the included treats and also probably some non-included treats. Because that's the other thing too, is that they do have the you can buy stuff when you're there as well. Now I know I just kind of like info dumped a whole bunch of stuff that I remembered from my last trip. Now I guess I should ask you, is there anything specifically that you're wondering about or that I didn't cover? I mean, my biggest worries are not the party itself. It's more just how long my daughter's going to last,
Right. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, and when my son was younger, like we did do the, go back and nap in the afternoon kind of thing, just to make sure that he had enough energy to like get.
Well, and we're not even going to stay for the whole day, right? So like we're not coming in till 4, right? Unless we end up getting a room like we're trying to get. Mm-hmm. But even then, we're not going to go to the park before then. So we'll try to do a nap thing, but she doesn't really nap anymore. It's
well, yeah. I mean, you say that, but I told my 17-year-old to go have a nap the other day. He did. Because he was tired and he was being cranky. So I was like, just go have a nap. And he did. So, I mean, it's, Or I guess does your daughter nap in the car at all? Or
Yeah, she'll fall asleep sometimes. Yeah, I mean, depends.
Okay.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting to kind of see that part of it and see how she lasts and how she enjoys things and how she reacts to the fireworks shows and the parades and all that stuff. I mean, the funny thing is, my daughter has watched videos of pretty much all the stuff that happens at the Christmas party, right? So she's not unfamiliar with it. She knows that it exists. She knows, she's seen the parades many times. I don't think we've ever actually watched that particular fireworks show that they do, but she's seen a lot of the stuff there. I think the Frozen stuff they do on stage, we're definitely gonna make a point to see that stuff. That's what I was saying. Like, yeah. I don't know how many. We'll definitely do some rides. I have a feeling we're gonna end up on the Barnstormer just because my daughter loves the Barnstormer. But we might try to push her to do some other stuff. We'll see. I don't think Space Mountain's happening, but you never know. My sister and brother-in-law.
She's tall enough for Space Mountain, right?
Yeah, I think so. But I just don't. She's not. I don't know. It's that'll be an interesting one because, she'll. If I'm asking her to do it, she'd probably say no. But if her aunt and uncle are asking her, she might.
Or I guess, has she seen videos of the holiday overlay for it or no?
Probably not.
Because that might help your situation if you want to try and get her on it. Is that helping her understand that this isn't like normal Space Mountain. It's a Christmassy version of Space Mountain, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I don't know. We'll see. She's weird about roller coasters, right? So like I've tried to get her to ride Big Thunder before, when we were there in May before it closed, and couldn't get her to do it. I'm sorry, it wasn't not this past May, the 2 Mays ago, right. But because it was already closed when we were there. But I tried to get her to do it, and she was all about it. And then as we walked over, she was like, kind of was like, no, I don't want to do it. And I mean, but I talked a lot about this year. I talked about our trips to Carowinds locally, and they have a kiddie wooden roller coaster there. And a fair bit, it's a wooden roller coaster. It's not a Disney coaster in that
they're not as smooth as a steel coaster.
It's a little more intense, and that ended up being like her favorite ride at the park. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to maybe push her a little more and see if she'll do it. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe she's kind of hit that turning point, because you're right. Kids are they start off like very unsure about things, and my son was the same way. Like I guess he was more gung ho for roller coasters right off the bat, but there was also a point where like he was just unsure about everything, and then all of a sudden it was like once he experienced it, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm down for like all of this," right? So
yeah, that's always the thing, right? Once you get him to try it, then it's like, yeah. So go from there.
Yeah, I mean, and even if you don't do all the overlay rides, like you're still gonna have a great time there regardless. Like you say, there is honestly, the thing about holiday parties is that there is way more to do. Like I don't, if somebody figured out how to do everything you can do at a holiday party in a single one, I mean, that is like very hardcore, like min-maxing of your time for most of us.
I don't anticipate us doing everything. I can't.
Because actually, to your point, like the thing that we missed out on was the stage shows, and again, that was a choice. Like we talked about it ahead of time, and we were like, okay, what do we want to do? And it was like, yeah, we want to go meet and greet Santa. We want to get on these rides. We want to do cookies. We want fireworks, and because of that, we're like, well, there's this stage show at this time, and we're like, yeah, we're not getting over to that. That's fine. Like we'll just miss that, right? But yeah, it's like I said, it is very much knowing what all of these things are. And like I said, I feel or like I said, our experience was kind of starting from the front of the park worked out, just because it was like we got the ornaments, which like I feel like you want to get the ornaments from the
I want an ornament,
and I don't. But I mean, honestly, it was like you could get them later in the party, or like as you're leaving. I'm pretty sure they were still handing them out. I wasn't honestly paying attention, because it was like once we had them, it was like got that, moving on to other things, right? So again, it comes down to priorities, right? Or what your family wants to get done first. And because technically you could start the party, like you could put Jingle Cruise as your first thing you want to do, and you could start over in Adventureland, right?
The other part of it, though, too, is, we're going to show up at 4. Party starts at 7. So I think what our initial thought is that we were going to try to do rides, then, because the party doesn't really start till 7. So, the problem is we're going the week of Thanksgiving, so it's going to be busy, right? So like, how much we could actually get done is probably limited.
Here's the thing, though. So Jingle Cruise you can do outside of the party.
Yeah.
But
the others you can't. Yeah.
Yeah. So Space Mountain and the Tomorrowland Speedway, they're not running until the party starts.
I guess I just mean all the other stuff that's not, holiday themed,
Yeah. Yeah, true. I mean that's the thing, is that you like, and yeah, to be fair, the rides we did during the party were specifically those like overlay rides, right? Like, and I think we did get on Big Thunder only because again, it was like we were still kind of like prioritizing Big Thunder. In the last couple of years, we kind of got to a point where like Big Thunder's not a big deal anymore.
How dare you?
Or sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't mean Big Thunder. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Oh yeah, sorry. That's fine. You can.
Sorry, I switched that around in my head. I it was another like mine cart ride, but yeah, Seven Dwarfs is, so we used to prioritize Seven Dwarfs as like we would get on it during a holiday party or after hours, but we kind of started moving away from that because like Seven Dwarfs is great and all, but yeah, you don't need to get on Seven Dwarfs.
Seven Dwarfs is one of those things where it's fun and all, but like the wait is not worth the amount of time that you're on it for. Yeah,
but that's why going during a holiday party or an after hours party is attractive, because you like it'll be like at most a 20-minute wait.
Then it makes it worth it to do.
Yeah, but for a holiday party though, I would say like I would not prioritize that, because there is way more to do than riding Seven Dwarfs, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So yeah, it sounds like I said, I'll see if I can find. I'm going to dig through my stuff after we're done this waitlist, and I'll see if I can find, because I'm pretty sure we kept the brochure from the treat trail. Or not true, or the where the cookies were and everything. So you at least could get like an idea of, like, again, it was years ago, but it'll give you an idea of kind of what you're looking at or how they map out the party, which I think will help you guys with, like I said, because of, you're showing up, you're specifically going to the party. Obviously, ahead of time, I would say even like, if you're getting there at 4, you don't have to run around. Like you could go and, just find somewhere to sit, have dinner and just chill before the party, like kind of save your energy a bit. I don't know.
I kind of got to see what that's going to look like. I think we haven't really discussed it at all yet. There's been, a little bit of discussion, but not a lot. Right. Mm-hmm. So there's still a lot of planning that needs to take place. We are, we're still, it's not here yet. So we got a little bit of time, but.
But this is why we're talking about it now, because you'll be far more prepared than I was, which I feel for being prepared for the holiday parties, like they're a lot of fun. But like I said, the very first one we did, it was super overwhelming. Like I was not prepared for how much stuff there was to do, and like kind of figuring out what it was I wanted to do during the party.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So, yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah. No, I appreciate all these tips, and I hope anybody else that listens to this can also provide some tips. But this is I appreciate this, because I'm going in fairly. I mean, I obviously know some details, but this is like I said, it's kind of a blind spot for me. So
yeah, I hope that I've given you at least a leg up on this, and that this goes back again to previous discussions that we've had. Is I'm in that position of I'm giving the advice on the trip, and I really hope that it goes well, because it's a bit of a reflection on my ability to give Disney advice.
Yeah, true.
And but no, seriously though, I want you guys to have a great time. because the holiday parties are awesome. And I hope you guys are able to do everything that you want to do during the party.
Honestly, this is something we've been waiting to do for a very long time. So even if it's not completely even if we don't get to do everything, we're just excited to do it.
It's going to be magical either way. Like
absolutely.
I will admit, like even like being there during the decorations is one thing, but the party adds an extra layer to it has like, I've been there in November and had like that this is Christmas feeling going on, which like it is it's weird to describe, where it's like like when you were a kid, like having that like high of like Christmas is coming and like all the stuff surrounding Christmas. The first time we did the Christmas party, it was like I had that like high of like, oh my gosh, it was Christmas, this was amazing. And then we left and I came back home and it was like, Christmas hasn't happened yet, and then Christmas happened again, and it was like a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So like I said, I feel like I know you guys will have a great time with it. And
the magic is what you make it.
It is at the end of the day, and it's as much as you can absolutely go in and wing it. That if that's how you choose to do it, that I'm not saying
me, I'm not gonna wing
it. and I'm the same way as I don't want to wing something like that either, because it is a special thing, and I feel like because it is a special thing, it does deserve more attention than a normal park day. So
yeah, it makes sense.
Hopefully you guys are able to get in and figure out a plan for it that at the very least having the only thing that you haven't experienced is the parade live, because it's watching videos of it does
it's different. It's different.
It is very different, and it like we were so blown away by it when we saw it live. So I'm excited for you.
Forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you, Trevor, for going through this with me, and I'm sure I will have more questions. But
absolutely.
But yeah, thank you. This has been the Waitlist. So thanks for joining us.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit a chair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl.